Cam, obviously, Cincinnati's one of the best teams in the league last year. They came in with a win already under their belt. How do you look at the 3 points you earned tonight?
Yeah, huge 3 points. I mean, we knew it was going to be a tough game. They've started the season really well. They're full of confidence. Really challenging group to play against, and so for our group to execute the way they did it's outstanding. It's difficult conditions with the weather, difficult for guys to come into the game having sat there for 85 minutes. With those late changes, but that made such a big difference, and credit to everyone that put the shift in over that 90 minutes. It's a heavy lift to get 3 points off of them.
Early on in the match, FC Cincinnati had a good run in that first quarter hour with a lot of set pieces. How do you look at the cohesion of the team and the defense during that time period when they were just laying shots after shots on your team?
Yeah, we talk a lot about the importance of set pieces on both sides of the ball, and I think overall the way we defended those moments, and there's always shifts in momentum in a game, and you have to weather the storm. You need guys to make plays, make clearances, make saves, and everyone did what they were asked of.
Looked like Joaquin was pretty instrumental throughout that match. What did you like about his performance?
He was everywhere, and so we wanted to get him more involved, and there were a lot of really good moments between him, Tomas, Calvin, and the things we talked about during the week about them being able to feed off each other, and I thought, we saw a lot of that tonight.
In the first half, you had 9 shots, only 1 shot on target. Do you feel there's any missed opportunities to score a goal in that first 45 minutes?
For sure. We talked about it at halftime. That was one of our messages to the guys is we're one pass away from a really good goal, and it's early in the season. Everyone wants to kind of make their mark on the team, but to get in such good positions, if we can, just play that extra pass and create a better chance, a better scoring opportunity instead of taking some of those low-value chances, then certainly you'd fancy us to have scored a goal with one of those.
Fans here are used to seeing kind of a bushy mop of hair in goal for the Loons. Drake seemed to be there when you needed him tonight. How would you describe how he played today?
He's been so steady, and I think you see that from him. He has a really calm presence in the goal, makes the saves that you want him to make, manages the game well. The things that you want him to come out for, he's there. So really, really pleased for him to get that clean sheet.
I think he got a goal last week. Obviously, he's been a challenge since he joined MLS. What did you like about your defensive performance?
Yeah, to manage everything that they throw at you, and especially at the end when they got numbers forward, they have size, they have pace, they have quality on the ball, they have runners arriving in the box. There's a lot that you have to manage, and for that whole group. And I think you look at that, the moment where they counterattack off a set piece, and we have everyone sprinting back, and I think that sort of shows the character of the group and the commitment, not just from the defenders, but from the team to defend.
In the second half, you mentioned, of course, in the first half, you felt like you should have gotten a goal. You did get that goal in the second half. Kelvin came in, stormed up, got the rebound off the post from Shankalai's free kick. How do you feel about that overall on the goal?
Yeah, good moment. Good moment to set up, the chance. Bravery on the edge of the box. It forces them into a foul, sets up a free kick. You want to get those on target, make the keeper make a save, have guys around it, and it's, it just good instincts in front of goal from a goal scorer.
We saw Tom Barlow have some hands to the face of Boxall, it appeared. What was your view of that, and how's Boxy doing?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, to be honest, so we'll have to check. I haven't had a good look at a replay or anything of that, so I can't really speak to it.
And how's Boxall?
He seems all right.
You mentioned that James might play if the game state presented itself, but you guys were leading when it might have been likely for him to come on. Was there anything else beyond that decision?
Yeah, look, again, hard game to come into, and with us, that the game state of being up 1-0 and also him having sat there for 75, 80 minutes, having not played so far and only had 1 week of full training, I don't think that was the ideal circumstances to bring him into.
Any other questions?
Just one more. Obviously it was your first win as a permanent head coach. I know you've kind of done this before, but is there a personal moment that you have with something like that, or not so much?
Look, I'm just happy that we can keep rolling 4 points from 2 games, and we took care of business. Anytime you get a point on the road, it's great. You want to get 3 points at home. 2 years ago we flipped those results with 3 on the road and 1 at home to start the season. So I'm just happy for the team that they get the reward. They put in a ton of work this week. They took in a lot of information, and for the players to get that moment and to have that wonder wall with the supporters at a time where we need some light and some joy. I think it's great to be able to share that.
You got 2 more matches on the road before you come back home to play at Allianz again. How do you feel about 3 away matches in your first 4?
Yeah, look, it's the nature of the schedule. We're in a place where more than likely this time of year we're going to play games away from home. It's difficult, obviously, and the grounds crew have done an incredible job of getting that pitch ready for this game tonight at this time of year. But it's a difficult thing to do, and so to have those games on the road is just the nature of it. We were one of the best teams on the road last year, and we need to continue to find ways to pick up results this season.
All right. Thank you so much, Cameron.
Thank you.
Everybody, for